Hello, everyone. Let's try this again. I tried this again and my microphone wouldn't record for some reason. Anyways, we need to talk about Doom the Dark Ages. And I don't have any negative comments on it, so don't worry. Um, but that's the problem. I don't have any comments on it, despite the fact that I have it in my Steam library and I have downloaded it and I have attempted to launch the game. But you know what happened? Same thing that has been happening with 90% of modern big games lately. Games from large companies. There's a problem that's been happening lately that no one seems to be addressing, but it's a problem for the gaming community as a whole that has seemingly gone unnoticed somehow. And it mainly affects the little guy, the people who are less fortunate and just want to come home and play a game to relieve their stress. You all know, if you're one who watches my videos, you know my PC isn't great. It's a potato, in fact. I got it like 5 years ago for Christmas, and it was $800. Nonetheless, it is a laptop, and it runs terribly. But nonetheless, I make it work. I find ways to optimize it beyond compare. And for a long time, that has worked. It has worked completely. And games run buttery smooth despite me having some of the worst hardware of any device. Most of the time. But still, nonetheless, I see a problem that keeps arising that no one seems to be talking about. And that's the fact that modern games are advancing their graphics so much that regardless of what settings you try to play on, you cannot play the game. And it's not that it even just lags and crashes, it's that the game physically will not launch unless you have specific hardware that is designed to be able to handle certain graphics. Okay? Look at this, right? I'm going to Doom the Dark Ages right here, right? I press play, and it tries to launch the game. But what do I find? Doom the Dark Ages. Ray tracing incompatible GPU. A GPU with hardware ray tracing compatible or capabilities and at least 8 gigabytes of dedicated VRAM is required to launch the game. Yeah, that happens with more games nowadays than you would think. The first time it happened that I noticed was the Spider-Man 2 game. I got the game finally after ages of waiting and finally managed to download the game, and lo and behold, I was literally unable to launch the game because my computer didn't have the graphics requirements, the hardware needed to launch it. Now, I personally, I am planning and working towards getting an extremely powerful desktop computer to play games on for YouTube, right? That is something that I'm working towards, and I think I'm pretty close to doing it. Stupid hair, right? But that's me, someone whose dreams is being a content creator, who wants to who upload videos of myself playing games for you guys to watch. That's Me, someone whose entire identity revolves around showing you guys the games that I play. And as that kind of person, I want to give you guys the best possible experience when you're watching my videos. So naturally, I want a computer that is, yes, capable of doing that. I don't currently have that, but I'm working on it, right? And that is something that I am actually trying to do, right? But me, a content creator who is seriously invested in becoming that kind of person, I'm not your average Joe, okay? I'm not your average gamer. Most people, and believe it or not, Bethesda, ID, or whoever it is that makes Doom primarily, and all the other game companies who are making the big title games recently, most gamers do not have those kinds of PCs. Most gamers have this kind of PC, the kind that can barely run Minecraft with optimized settings. Because most people do gaming as a hobby, not as a career choice. Okay? So they have neither the financial ability nor stability to go out of their way to put a car's worth of computer power or to put a car's worth of money in computer power in their room. Right? I don't have that kind of money. I'm working on getting it, but I don't have that. All right? Now, that isn't to say that people shouldn't be able to have nice high-end graphics and that people with that kind of powerful PC shouldn't be able to play with those kinds of graphics. But there should not be such an insane minimum requirement for playing games. Okay? It should not be the case that a person wants to play an awesome new game that has just released and they buy the game and they try to boot it up and it won't boot up because their PC doesn't have the specs required for it. Okay? All right. You should have you can have the high-end graphic settings that allow people to try to run that stuff if they want to, if they have the, the graphics hardware required to do that. But you should also have a minimalistic graphics setting that allows less fortunate gamers to still be able to run your game. Okay? If they paid for it, they should be able to use it. As crazy as that may sound to you, because my intention with playing these games is to show you guys and to give you guys the best possible experience. All right? That is not what I want for you guys. I want you guys to be able to play these things and enjoy them for yourselves. I don't want you to have to fork out a fortune just so that you can keep up with the gaming graphics settings. the minimal stuff that is required to play these games. I want you guys to have a fun time watching my videos and be in awe of what you see. That's what most content creators probably want when they're playing a game. I don't want you to have a computer that is worth its weight in dollar bills just to be able. This is a growing problem that no one seems to be addressing, as far as I know, at least. Like, the gaming industry is becoming more and more lofty and bougie. And we need to do something about it. Okay? The gaming industry has forgotten the average consumer. Do better.